Hi everybody, welcome back to Neighborhood Bees, or if you haven't been here before and it's your first time, welcome. Neighborhood Bees. I'm Jimmy, keeping bees in a regular neighbor, and I'm smoking myself out, in a regular neighborhood, Central Virginia, Chesterfield County. Anyway, I'm gonna read today's fortune and every time I light the smoke, it comes to me. I can't take it. Anyway, and tell you what's going on. Today, I got a couple of things I want to look in the hive, in the apiary there, and one repair I want to make. And anyway, we'll get into that. So today's fortune says, you are a perfectionist. Don't spoil it. No, I'm not. I am not a perfectionist. Me personally, if it's good enough, it's good enough. You know, if it works, it's good enough. But I like things to work as designed. Like if you design something to work, it should work. And it should work every time. Now that maybe not be perfectionist because, you know, I don't care if it doesn't look a certain way, but it has to function properly. That's just me. You be you, I'll be me, let me be me. Don't hit me too hard in the comments. Anyway, because if I was a perfectionist, I'd probably be replacing instead of repairing. I have one hive over there, the yellow hive, that the bees got, there's a hole in the side between my bottom board and my slatted rack. There's a gap, there's a hole. If I was a perfectionist, I'd replace either one or both, whichever one has the damage, but I'm not. So what I am going to do is I got a piece of wood here, just a little, and I'm gonna put it up on the side. I'm not going to use any glue because there's active bees there, but I do have a brad nailer. So I'm going to hold it up to the side to block that and brad nail it 4 or 5 places, 6 places, whatever, and block that hole off. But yeah, so, and it's going to just stay like that. And the bees will eventually propolize that hole and there'll be no more access. So yeah, that's one project for today. But also the front 2 hives, the CopperTop Nuc, resource nuc, that has my XL frames and a deep on top, and a feeder shim with a bucket. That hive doesn't have a lot of activity, so I got to look inside there and see what's going on. And also the red hive right next door to it. It doesn't have a lot of activity, not compared to the other 3 hives. So I want to look inside there and see what's going on. And if I got to combine the 2, I'll combine them, or I just want to go inside, see what's going on. If they're slimed out, if they're wax moth or beetle overruns, then I'll figure all of that out. In another video, the Lyson hive, the 6-frame nuc, which is a double stack 6-frame. They've been bearding a lot on the outside. It may be time to add that 3rd box for the Lyson and keep feeding and manipulate some frames so that they can say, hey, we need to build these up faster. And also I need to put a port in the back because I use oxalic acid vaporization as a treatment for mites. And it's a polystyrene hive, and I could just drill a hole and stick the nozzle in from my Lorobbees vaporizer. I have the old school plug-in model because that's all I need. I'm right here, an extension cord will reach. But I don't want that tip gets hot. So what I decided I was gonna do was I have some aluminum tubing that once I drill a hole, I'm gonna stick the aluminum tube in, and then that way the tube will help keep it a little cooler. It won't come in direct, the polystyrene won't come in direct contact with the hot tip from the Lorobbees. Anyway, or any vaporizer, the tip's gonna be hot. So, but I'll use that aluminum tube to do that. And then I'll be able to just plug up that tube and leave the tube in permanent. So that's a modification I'll make. I should have thought about it when I was assembling that hive. I could have made that modification then, but you know, I'm not a perfectionist. Anyway, Let me get my jacket. Smoker's already lit. Oh, here, look, this. This was it's not sponsored, but this was a freebie that I got from Harbor Freight, shopping at Harbor Freight, which I do quite a bit. And so it's just an ammo box. But I use this as my smoker. So, or if I got to go on the road with my smoker, I have my switchgrass pellets in here. I only need a handful at a time. So there's enough for probably 2 or 3 visits to the lighten the smoker. I have, some people use a torch. I use this, it's like a butane lighter. You can refill it, but I don't know if that'll show. But the flame is shooting up there, that high. And it's like, jet power. Amazon, not sponsored, kind of cool. And then inside, I also have pine shavings, some cardboard, and then some little wood chunks that'll build up coals. This one's a little big, but it'll build up charcoals and coals in the bottom of the smoker to help keep it lit. And what I do is I put cardboard and some pine shavings down at the bottom. I light that, let it burn, complete fire, building charcoals and embers. And I have some other smaller bits of wood that'll build charcoals and embers. Like here, little small bits. And then I put the switchgrass pellets on top of that. They'll light because of the embers and they'll stay lit all day. Like I put 1 or 2 handfuls on top after it's all lit, and it'll stay lit like that all day. And I only have, like I said, 5 hives back here to go through. Or if I'm going out helping someone else and I bring my smoker, it'll stay lit all day and I'll have to put it out before I travel back home. Anyway, so let me get my jacket on and go do this quick repair first, and then go look in the other 2 hives. Okay, I'm gonna leave my veil on. There's still a bunch of bees smelling the residual nectar that was in these frames here and the frames I had down here. Those two hives, they had too much space. So there was a lot of beetles. I sucked them out with the beetle sucker. Got that sitting in the freezer. All of these frames, even if they just looked like they were mostly just foundation, I'm gonna stick them in the freezer for about, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, whatever, and kill anything that's on there. If there's any hive beetle larvae, I didn't see any, but I saw a lot of beetles. So there you go. Actually, there was a whole lot more activity outside of the CopperTop. The Red Hive had about 6 solid frames of bees. The CopperTop, I saw the queen in there, and she was laying brood and everything. It just I don't think they had enough pollen. So I put a small pollen patty and I sprinkled some pollen substitute on the top frame before I closed it up, and I put a gallon of syrup, 1-to-1 basically. Yeah, almost 1-to-1. We'll say that. But whatever. Anyway, I put a gallon of feed on there. I'll check it every 4 days. I'll keep feeding, and I'll probably increase it to 2-to-1 or 1.5-to-1. Same for the Red Hive. So, yeah, there's still bees flying around here. So the Red Hive was the same thing. Too much space. Not enough workers and not enough, population. So I removed the box. I'll put those frames in the freezer as well. And yeah, and then the repair on the yellow hive, I covered up the side hole, and they had a small hole in the front, 1 bee size in the front. Looks like it might have been a carpenter bee or something that made that hole, but I covered that up as well. So now the ones that are trying to go back in the side, they got to refigure and go back in the front now through the hive gates. So the next day or two, depending on weather, I'll check the yellow hive. I'll check the status of the licensed blue hive, which is a 6-frame nuc, 6/6. And then I'll pop the top and look into the farmhouse. That's my sort of hands-off hive, so to speak. I mean, because I have a plexiglass, I can kind of look in there without disturbing the bees. So yeah, so I just like to see what's going on in there, and I just kind of leave them. Anyway, so that's it. Smoker's still lit. I haven't puffed it in a minute, but switchgrass pellets, I'll put a cork in it and close it up, and yeah, that'd be that. All right, thank y'all for watching. I'm gonna get out of here, clean this up, go inside. Like I said, I'm gonna put these in the freezer. You don't need to see all of that. And tomorrow, another day, I'll make those modifications so I can oxalic acid treat. And yeah, I wanted to get the first 2 done, get the second 2 looked at in the farmhouse, and then I'll treat with OAV, oxalic acid vaporization. And yeah, so all right, thank y'all for watching. And as always, wherever you are, whatever you got to do to fix beekeeper error or whatever, have fun with your bees. I do.